Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmades.com, and thank you so much for joining me for another Stampin' Up! Tutorial. I'm excited to share a project with you that features the Tranquil Tulips stamp set. I've had this Hostess set a while, and this is my first time to use it on a project, so I'm excited about that. And this stamp set is available in my online Stampin' Up! Store with a $150 or more purchase. You can use your Stampin' Rewards to pick up this stamp set. I really love this one. It's a really great two-step stamp set. And then I'm also using the Balloon Celebration stamp set, which I haven't used in a really long time. I'm using this one for this congratulations sentiment. So here's the card that I'm going to show you how to create today. I love this card, and I don't know if you can see when I kind of move it. I used a little bit of Wink of Stella on those tulips. So hopefully, there you go. Hopefully you can see that little bit of sparkle. So cute. I love this card. I think it's just a really pretty, clean, and simple card. And honestly, I love cards with a white card base. If I could make every single card with a white card base, I really would. It's my favorite card base to use. It's just such a crisp look when you've got that white card base in the background, and then it makes it so easy when you write your message on the inside. So let's go ahead and get started, and I will show you how to create this card. All right, so I've got 2 pieces of Whisper White cardstock here for the stamping. This is just a 1/2 inch scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock. This is for the sentiment, and then this is for our tulip background right here, and this is cut at 3 inches by 5 inches. So we've got a really fun color palette for these tulips. So in place of green, I'm using Bermuda Bay, and I really like how that turned out. And then we've also got Peekaboo Peach and Rich Razzleberry. Really great combination. So I'm going to start first with the Bermuda Bay, and we're going to stamp the stem and the leaf image. I'm just going to ink that up. And you're going to notice when you stamp using this stamp set, the images look almost like maybe you didn't ink up the stamp all the way, and it's supposed to look that way. It's supposed to have sort of a watercolor look to these stamps. Okay, so there's the stem. So let me just show you. You can see how it looks splotchy, almost like I didn't ink it up all the way, but it's actually supposed to look that way. And once you put all of the images together, it's beautiful. All right, so now I've got both of the little leaf images to add on. So I'm just going to ink this one up. And let's see, I'm going to stamp this one. I'm going to stamp this one down kind of low to kind of ground that little stem since it's sort of floating. Okay, just like that. And then the other little guy, ink that up, and I'm going to stamp this one, let's see, right about there. Perfect. Love it. And that's all we need the Bermuda Bay for. All right, so now I'm going to bring in the Peekaboo Peach, and I'm going to use this to stamp the largest of the tulips. So when you get ready to stamp the tulip, you've got the large tulip, you've got 2 pieces here. You've got this larger image, and then you've got a detailed image that you can stamp on top. So I'm going to start with the larger image first, and the great thing about this stamp set is you're going to already get sort of 2 shades of your ink. You don't have to stamp off. It's already designed to do that for you, to create that look. So I'm just going to look right through my stamp here and stamp that down. Love photopolymer stamps. Okay, so there's the first layer. Now I'm going to bring in that detailed layer, ink that up, and it's pretty easy to line these up, I've noticed. So just look right through there and stamp right on top. Give it a good press, and there you go. Isn't that cool? All that dimension just with 2 little stamps. And then you've got the 2 shades as well. And it's already designed to do that for you. So cool. All right, so now we're gonna do the exact same thing for the smaller tulip, but in Rich Razzleberry. So again, you've got the 2 stamps, you've got the more solid stamp, and then you've got the detailed layer to go on top. So I'm just going to ink this up and look right through my stamp. I'm gonna have to turn this one just a little bit. Let's see, right about there, I think. Okay, and then ink it up again. Look right through there and stamp. Okay, and then put your detailed image on top. Scoot that down a little bit. Look right through. Stamp. And look right through and stamp. There we go. So cool. And I'm going to set this to the side, and then I want to go ahead and stamp my congratulations sentiment. So I'm just going to turn this around and stamp that congratulations from the Balloon Celebration stamp set. So I'm actually going to stamp this sort of in the center of this strip. Now, hopefully I can see and do this straight the first time. Perfect, that looks great. All right, and for the last step here, I'm just gonna bring in my basic black archival ink, and then I've got a couple of the little centers for my tulips. I've got the larger center and the smaller one. So I'm just gonna ink up the smaller one and put it right there on this one, right there on that one, and then flip it over and just put the larger one on the Peekaboo Peach tulip. There we go. All right, so I've got the rest of the pieces here for this card, so we can start assembling it. So I've got a piece of Whisper White thick cardstock. This is cut at 8.5 inches by 5.5, and I have scored it at 4 1/4. Just going to fold that over, give it a nice crease with my bone folder. Okay, then I've got a piece of the Naturally Eclectic Designer Series paper, and this is cut at 3.5 inches square, and I'm just going to adhere this down, right about here on the front of my card, and I will use Fast Fuse to do that. All right, so now I'm gonna add this little piece of doily. I just cut one of the doilies, one of our delicate white doilies down into 4 quarters. So I'm just going to adhere this little piece of doily, I guess right about here on my Peekaboo Peach cardstock. So I'll just put a little bit of Fast Fuse right there. I'm just gonna put that right about there. Perfect. And then I'll go ahead and layer my tulips on top. And this piece of Peekaboo Peach cardstock, this is cut at 1/8 of an inch larger than my Whisper White layer on all 4 sides. And I've got the exact measurements for that piece over on today's coordinating blog post. All right, so then this layer is going to go right on the front of my card like so. So I'm going to actually adhere this layer with dimensionals. Got my dimensionals on here, and I'll just get the backings off. Yep, right about there looks good to me. Put that right on. Okay, that looks super cute. So now I can take my little sentiment here, and I'm going to adhere this. I want to cover up this little floating stem right there. So I'm actually going to cover that up with my sentiment. So I'm going to put this on right about there, I think. Yeah, that looks good. So what I want to do is I'm just going to take my paper snips and snip down just a little bit and banner these ends here. Okay, so I've just bannered that end, and then I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive right in the center, and I'm just going to put this congratulations where I want it. Let me make sure that's straight. Yep, that looks good to me. Give it a press, and then I'm going to just open my card up and trim this off nice and straight. Okay, just like that. That's so cute. I love this card. All right, so I want to add a couple of our Jewel Basic pearls here, some of our little adhesive pearls. So I've got my paper piercer here, and I'm also going to bring in my fine tip glue. You don't have to do this step, the fine tip glue. I like to add a little bit of glue, even though these have adhesive on them. It's just my personal preference. For sending them in the mail, I like to make sure that they are really on there. So I like to put just a few little dots of glue first, and then put my pearls on top. All right, and I just need one more pearl. And you just want to be careful if you are using the a little bit of liquid glue. You don't want to press too hard because your glue will kind of come out of the sides. So just press down gently, get your pearls in there. All right, so the next step, I'm just gonna add some Wink of Stella to my tulips, and you wanna be careful when you use your clear Wink of Stella or any Wink of Stella. Oh, see, look, I've got a lot kind of leaking out of the sides here. So I'm just going to wipe that. Okay, I just kind of wiped that on a towel. So you just want to be careful, because if you squeeze too hard, a big blob will fall out. So don't squeeze too hard, and you don't want too much sitting around your brush. So I'm just going to, I want to follow the kind of the lines of the tulip. So I'm just going to kind of just little light stroke, add a little bit here, just at the curve of each of these. Okay, just like that. And then you can see, there you go, you can see that little Wink of Stella, so pretty. I love it, just a nice little touch of sparkle. All right, so that finishes this card, and of course, you always want to decorate your envelope, which I've already gone ahead and done just to save a little bit of time. So there's that, and then let me just bring in my original, and here we go. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's tutorial using the Tranquil Tulips stamp set. I love how this card turned out, very elegant and very clean and simple. So pretty. So if you'd like to purchase any of the Stampin' Up! Supplies that you saw me use today, just head on over to today's coordinating blog post. I've linked it just below the video in the description notes. I also have a link to all of the products that you saw me use today, as well as a direct link to my online Stampin' Up! Store in the video description below. And you can find all of the measurements for today's project over on today's coordinating blog post. So thank you guys again, and I will be back very soon with another project tutorial. Bye now.